Hello and welcome back to Monifactory. Last episode we progressed through and got our first EV circuit. But today, it's all about resources. Let's start with Applied Energistics 2 Auto Crafting. Alright, hello. After all of the AE2 has been set up, this is what the place looks like. As you can see, I've built this hall in between episodes. I think it looks pretty good, especially with the shaders and the reflective glass. I've upgraded my benders to MV and made 5 of them, and I made 15 wire mills. Almost definitely overkill. Probably should have just done 5, but whatever. I haven't set up any of the other walls yet. As you can see, I've made these small rooms with these red alloy doors. Pressure plates so they automatically open. I think the place looks pretty good. This room I'm still not finalized on. Gotta figure out how to organize all that. And like this. But yeah, a lot of this isn't final. Like, not everything is auto-crafted. Just the important things. Stuff like storage buses and, you know, like the 16 amp converter and stuff like that. The important stuff. No, I really just want to move on to more stuff, such as rubber production. We need this liquid rubber for a lot, covering all cables. We need it for some conveyor modules. The ME cables is the most important thing. To start, like that. What we've just set up is the greenhouse. What we're gonna do with this is farm rubber saplings. Needs water and rubber sapling input, and it'll output rubber log, resin, and sapling. For the water, I think a water collector should be enough, and we can put sapling in there on circuit 1. I think just for the sake of it, we'll get a second collector, and we can connect it up to power like this. Oh, and it's running. So I had to change out this input hatch for the water. This, I originally had an LV one because the recipe asks for 4 buckets. I had to upgrade to MV because the LV can only store 16. But yeah, it's running. I don't think it consumes this at all, but we can store this like so. Alright, I had to figure out some things, but this is the final setup. We have the output here. This should be voiding, so I gotta get a void upgrade for that. Water comes in, sapling doesn't move. This is just running every 64 seconds. So we get rubber, wood, resin, and saplings. The wood is centrifuged in here in these 4 MV centrifuges, making a variety of stuff, including methane, wood pulp, carbon, plant balls, and sticky resin. All the sticky resin is being centrifuged into glue, some plant balls, and raw rubber pulp. Pulp is what we're after, as we're importing it into a drawer here with a robot arm to keep only 9 of each inside of here, and having it react into liquid rubber using this recipe. And all this stuff is storage bus so that we can get it from AE2. Very simple setup. That is rubber production done. And we can move on to the next thing in this episode, which is alright, now that we have rubber set up, the next thing I want to do is start working on the upgrades for the EBF again. I don't know why I want to do this. I'm gonna be honest. You know, I want to get it up to EV power and nichrome coils. But first, we need a new machine. The vacuum freezer uses some EV circuits. So I am glad I made it last episode. Quest. We can come down here and I'm going to set it up right next to this EBF setup. All right, this is the setup. Having it run on MV because one of the reasons we need the vacuum freezer is because the energy hatch for HV actually requires a high voltage coil, which requires black steel. And black steel is a vacuum freezer recipe. I was gonna make this an HV just to start with, but I'll leave it at MV for now. Hot black steel. This is gonna take 2 minutes, but good news, Cooper nickel. So this can run in my 4 setup here. Now black steel, I have it over here, is 3 steel, 2 coke, 2 void crystal, and 2 black bronze. I do have coke set up over here. Let's make 2 crafts of each. So what is black bronze? Electrum and copper. Do this. 1 stack of copper. I'll be back when this is done. Actually, no, we can set up. So black steel is steel dust, coke, black bronze, which is electrum and copper, and this void crystal, which is an atomic reconstruction recipe at MV. Okay. I have an LV version that I used to get wither roses, but okay. We can make some of this using the auto craft. Now it's just rose gold, which is gold and copper. All right, I've got the gold and the copper. It has to be on circuit 3, and it takes 18 years. Good to know. We can leave that running. We only need to process first 5 for now, like this. How long does this take again? 25 seconds each. We just need 3. Like that. Throw it in the vending machines. And that's the atomic reconstructor. We can throw that there for now. And as you can see, we get some void crystals. We can take out the rose gold stuff now and put in the black bronze. So, steel. It's gonna take a little bit to make this all up. So I'm just gonna get like a starter batch done. I need 30 steel dust like that. We can remove all you for now. And we can throw you all in like that. And this will give us some black steel. This is going to be pretty important actually, as we're going to get black steel from it, and this is going to be used in several things, including the tier 1 rocket. We can continue the black bronze, and we can take the black steel over to here. And I'm actually not sure how this works. Like, it's not going to burn the chest, is it? Oh, we can chemical bath this. We don't need a vacuum freezer. Oh, why didn't I just read? Ugh. Okay, whatever. We have the vacuum freezer now. There's 4 done. It does hurt me, but putting it in there, it is chilling. I'm gonna get a filter, put it on the input, and we can extract there so that hopefully all of this black steel, like this, no quest. I hope I'm not breaking like a ton of quest order or something. No, black steel was over there. It just doesn't care. And I'll build up the energy hatches in a minute. Alright, next up on the docket, we need to actually make the energy hatches. First, we need some magnetic steel rods, and then we need some black steel wire. Coming over here to the HV assembler, this on circuit 1 should make the high voltage coil. While we're here, I made up some sodium potassium. This is really just potassium and sodium, both of which are byproducts of stuff I'm already making over in the chemical stuff. So that's the high voltage coil done. Let's grab the lathe. I thought I had everything for that. Okay. Next thing we need to do, we need these LPIC chips, which is an HV cutter, which we can make using this red steel, which is black steel, brass, rose gold, and steel. So it's pretty expensive for what it is, but we can make it up. And we can make up the saw, and then we can make the advanced cutter. No quest. Now, in order to make the LIPC wafer in the first place, we need a silicone wafer with an orange lens. There is no gem variation of this. So we actually have to use the chemical dyeing recipe, which is actually not that bad. I should have, yeah, a thing of orange dye here for the orange. It's just salt, orange dye, and sulfuric acid. Nothing big. In order to make the lens, though, we need a glass lens, which is a lathe recipe at MV. So we need an MV lathe, like so. And we can grab a glass pane, and we can grab the chemical bath. First up on the list, we can throw the lathe down and put the pane through it. That's going to take a little bit. So up here, we can put the cutter and bath down. So let's grab the silicon wafer. Man, this thing takes forever. So up in the chemical bath, we can put in the orange dye. Oh, it's done. Got this glass lens. Put in the chemical bath. Not going to take long. Looks like it's done. And then we can go back over here to the laser engraver and engrave it. We can grab the wafer and throw in another one. I just want to test. Yeah, it can't be cut by the MB cutter. So I did need to make this. Should probably supply it with some water first though. In there. Oh, it's a clean room recipe. Put it like that, that's fine. If we connect this laser, can we just, yeah, we can get rid of the diode being needed at all. It does take up two blocks inside here. Throw that in there, and that'll start cutting. God, everything takes so long in this mod. Can't yap this long. All right, there we go. There's the LPIC chips, and coming over here to the assembler, you can put in the potassium, the whole gold cable, high voltage coil, and the LPIC chips to make the HV energy hatch. Not a quest. What we can do actually is we can make up nichrome. This is our next thing we want. This is an EV blast furnace recipe. So we need 2 hatches on our EBF, and we want 1 hatch on the vacuum freezer. Although it might be better to just run that at 2 MV hatches like that one over there. So let me get rid of all this stainless steel that I'm producing. I promise I will set up proper automation instead of doing this all the time. Connect this up like that. We should be running at EV. Yeah, okay. This means we can start running up some nichrome. This is just 4 nickel and 1 chromium. Throw that in. 65 seconds per. The goal of this is nichrome coils, which if we're trying to make 16 of, yeah, if we need it, we need 2 stacks of nichrome, which means the stuff that I have built up is actually not even enough. I actually have to centrifuge the stainless steel back. It's kind of painful. Well, I'm gonna make all this up and I'll be back when it's done. What we need from the moon is actually very simple. We just need moon turf. This will give us access to deuterium, although we are certainly going to have to explore space a bit more later on. as you can see, I've cleaned up the place, including moving all my storage over there for now. Yeah, so what we've done is if we come over here, we can go to the rocket launch pad. I built this place. I'll be honest with you, I do not like the look of it. Kind of looks really bad. We're not here for aesthetics. I just wanted the base to be here, and this whole area looks good enough to me. Oh, there's where my framed hammer went. Anyway, and we can also go up to the moon base, which is actually just this tower, and do that before I die. Now, going to the moon, what we wanted was moon cobblestone, the main thing. We went through this through a macerator, an HV1. Let's come down over here, and I'll actually just show you, because I've been processing. Down here, I have an HV macerator. If I put this in 10 seconds, it's going to output a moon turf, I think. Yeah, moon dust. That outputs there, and I have it put into the centrifuge. The centrifuge gives a ton of different stuff, but the important thing we need is both deuterium for something I'm not going to get into today, but definitely will be getting into probably next episode. The important thing for today, this last thing I'm doing, is bauxite. Bauxite can be electrolyzed into oxygen, aluminum, and rutile. Now it's 15 bauxite to 1 rutile. So each moon turf, well, you can also get bauxite from the moon. So I'm probably going to mine it up a bit between episodes. But the important part is I have 19 rutile. Doing all that, and what we need to get into is what we have over here, which is titanium. Titanium is important because this is how we get EV materials. This is the aluminum for EV. So once we get titanium, we can actually make up our first EV machines, as we can see over here. And the EV circuit assembler is in that list as probably the first one we get, or actually the second one, but I'll get into that next episode, or at the end of this one. So what we're focusing on here is this little line here. HV chemical reactor, rutile. Using the rutile, carbon, and chlorine, we can make titanium tetrachloride, which can then be put in a blast furnace with magnesium to give us titanium. Because it has its own input and outputs, I'm actually going to make an EBF specifically for this. Now, this process is pretty self-contained, we'll say. So I think I'm going to put it right here. So, well, I guess we'll put it right here for now. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So I'm put a laser node there, and maybe electrolyze chem reactor, and we can do that for the power. I don't know if this is intentional, but I've never been able to get these to work. I have to place them correctly. I can't use the wrench. So yeah, like that, and shrink down. And we can do that to hopefully all these are powered. Yes. Let's disable all their working for now. And let's pull up a storage controller. Put it there so that we can storage bus onto that. Although we're exporting onto it, not storage busing. Actually, we don't need a storage controller here. You just need you. Carbon. Oh, I didn't want to throw it out. Alright, well, inputs. I think it's just carbon, actually. Yeah, it's just carbon. We can put it like that. Where is the downgrade? Like that. Perfect. So this is going to be the first up here. So going up, we item card, input, fluid card, do a counting filter. So we count 2 carbon going in. Already messed up again for like the 8th time already. This is why I don't like doing this on camera. We actually need 2 inputs in here. And that's because we need to input the rutile as well. This will be a manual input. So I put in a rutile there. Then we're inputting the rutile and the carbon. And we'll double that up. And we're inputting carbon chlorine. So counting filter. We'll do 8 things of chlorine like that. And I'll input my chlorine there. Once that's done, This will probably move positions later on, hell, even tomorrow. But for now, we can just put it right here. Like that, and perfect. Runs at HV, I think enough heat capacity. Yes. So from here, this is going to take out the extract there on channel 1. This is going to give us carbon monoxide, which we'll do in the south, I guess. Carbon monoxide there. So we're inputting carbon monoxide into here. Let's follow the tetrachlorine or whatever next and have input on you, filter for titanium tetrachlorine, like that, and extract. Just have it all on the same channel until it becomes a problem. So that finished. Monoxide's in there, tetrachloride's here. You can extract from the electrolyzer and input it there, because what this carbon monoxide is going to do, it's going to extract, it's going to produce oxygen, which we can trash, and it's going to give us a carbon back. And I believe, yeah, this is going to stay until this hits 2 again. So this is going to minimize how much we need to actually import. All right, the tetrachloride's in here. The other reactant is, that was weird. Oh, wait, what? How do I stop it from inputting? Anyways, filter, we can put magnesium in there. That seems to be working. Let's throw magnesium in there. That's running. Okay, 40 seconds. Power's keeping up. While that's running, if someone knows how to fix that, every time I go to craft with a hammer, it just doesn't work. Does anyone know how to fix that? Anyways, let's make up the fluid trash can. We're gonna put you down there. We're gonna auto output the oxygen. And just in case, I'm gonna filter it so that this can only trash oxygen. Yeah, so is this almost done yet? Oh, it is done. Oh, I don't need an output hatch. Let's disable your working after this one. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna move you. Pain in my ass. Alright, we can replace it like that. Start running you again. Please don't tell me that voided it. Oh, it fucking did. God damn it. I need to input a lot more chlorine into the system, because this is a zero sum type thing. I'm trying to keep from like putting like a tank or something somewhere here. So we can connect you. Let's just do this. Yes, we can use a pattern provider here. I think I have an import bus. Let's just use that. Let me make sure I can filter this. I can't. So we can do this. Yeah, that should only import the titanium like it is. And then to the south here, we want a filter for the magnesium chloride, like that. Run that. This will give us our magnesium and our chlorine gas back. Simple as that. And fully self-sufficient. I'll check on back on that later. Let's put my magnesium chloride back. And you might notice hot titanium ingots. That's not supposed to be a thing. Because down here, I have whitelist filter hot ingots. But you there? Yeah. So what this is doing is it's checking my entire system for anything with the tag hot ingot. As you can see there, all of these are hot ingots. And I checked, the only one that is used outside of the freezer is this inert nether compound using hot europium in UV, which is a bit away. We're not going to worry about it right now. Either way, we're all importing. These are freezing. And this is going through a pattern provider down here to input titanium. That's supposed to be a quest. I don't have the tetrachloride in a bucket. Okay. I guess I can. Quest. Thank you. And that is titanium done. From here, we get access from EV holes, and we'll work towards the EV circuit assembler for the better HV circuit, which should allow us to make our HV circuits on a passive, just like they are in here. Obviously, it requires a clean room, so we're gonna put it in here. All right, I'm re-recording this outro because I rambled for like 20 minutes and never got to the point. With the titanium, that's where we're going to cut off the episode. Done a lot of progress this episode, and I'm going to be doing a lot of cleanup in between this and the next episode, and especially getting that rutile and getting as much of titanium as I can. Next episode, main focuses, HV circuits. I want the nano processor, would be really nice. Is this possible? EV chem react, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, the better HV would be nice. This requires IB. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see about the circuits. But for sure, next episode, definitely want ore processing, which we're going to set up probably over here somewhere. So like that will be over here as well for the ore processing. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. Really quick before the video ends, I ended up in the hospital a little bit for a foot injury. I apologize. That has delayed this episode quite a bit. The next episode, I can't guarantee it'll be on time, but I'll definitely try. All right, with that out of the way, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Monifactory.